Hi y'all, welcome to David Shane's Kitchen, D-A-V-I-D-S-H-A-N-E. And today I am going to make for you my Southern collard green dinner. So earlier today I began cooking because this takes a little bit of time and I didn't want to spend the whole day filming for you guys. But I'm going to tell you how it's made, and I'll have this recipe on my blog at davidshaneskitchen.blogspot.com. And then you can see how it's all done and we'll see the actual recipe there. But I can show you today, and I'll talk a little bit about it. This is a recipe from my grandmother. You can see don't they look just wonderful? Aren't they just lovely? And you should smell them. Whew, cannot wait to have those. But this is a recipe from my grandmother. There's a little secret ingredient I want to talk about today. But I'm also going to talk about this house seasoning. This is a house seasoning that I got from one of my favorite celebrity chefs, Miss Paula Deen. I love her. I think she's fantastic. And you can find this recipe on her website. But it is just a house seasoning. It is 1 cup of salt, a 1/4 cup of pepper, and a 1/4 cup of garlic powder. You can use this for many things, on meats, seasoning things. And so if you hear me talk about house seasoning, that's what I'm talking about, and I just wanted to share that with you today, and I'll put that recipe on my blog as well. In this, it is time consuming because you're going to start with your broth, you're going to boil your meat first, add your seasonings, and I'll put that all on there. But there's a secret ingredient that I'd like to just share with y'all because it was my grandmother's and she didn't really tell anybody. And if my family watches this and you didn't know about it, she told me. And if you don't know, I can't help you. But I put a small bell pepper in this in the very beginning. It just does a little something different, gives a little extra kick, and it's really nice flavoring to the collard greens and ham hocks. So later on, I'm going to show you how to make my cornbread, and we're going to have a tomato salad. And I'll see you guys back here in just a few minutes. Hi y'all, and welcome back. I am going to make for you now my cornbread. It is very simple ingredients. I have my cast iron skillet in the oven. Now, I'm just using a very small cast iron skillet because it's just me. I'm not gonna make a lot for a family. So I have a small skillet, and this is going to be my recipe for the large skillet, and you can just fill your cast iron that way. And then I'll just use discard of the extra batter. But I'm gonna start with 3 cups of cornmeal, self-rising buttermilk. Put that in there. And then I have a little secret thing that I do. I've always done it. It's just 3 tablespoons of flour. I just add that to it. To me, it does something a little different to my cornbread that I enjoy. And then I'm gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. And then I'm gonna add 2 eggs. I'm gonna add probably, now I didn't measure this out, but I'll put it in there for you for the measurements. Probably gonna add about 2 tablespoons of oil. A vegetable oil is fine. And then I'm gonna take my whisk and I'm just gonna mix those ingredients till they come together. Just a little bit. It's gonna be kind of crumbly. And then I have 2 cups of buttermilk here. Now y'all, I don't measure, so if I have to use a little more, I will just share that with you. So I'm assuming this is gonna be enough buttermilk. But you want the consistency of a pretty thick pancake batter. And just do a little bit at a time. Mix it together. Once you get it all incorporated, you want to give it a good strong whisk. I'm gonna make that just a little thinner. And that's just shy of 2 cups. Now, if you take a look at this, it's just almost like a pancake batter. Okay, you see that? And as I told you, this is for an average size cast iron skillet. Now today when I show you my cast iron, it's gonna be small and it won't take all of this batter, but I can save this or discard it, okay? Now my cast iron skillet has been in the oven at 350 degrees. It has about 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil in it. And it's heating up because I want my pan hot and I want that oil hot. So when I get ready to add my cornbread mixture to it, it kind of sizzles and it's gonna come up and it's gonna give it a little crust. We're gonna cook that for about 30 minutes, give or take a little bit, and check it about that time and you can see if it's done or not, kind of like almost a cake test. So in just a few moments, I'll be back and I'll show you how I pour that in there while my pan is finished heating up. Well, y'all, before I pour this mixture in that hot cast iron skillet, I forgot my sugar. It's a quarter cup of sugar into this recipe, okay? So if you don't like the sugar and you don't like sweet cornbread, that's fine. This just gives it a little hint of sweetness. If you don't want the sugar, please put at least a teaspoon in there because your cornbread needs a little sugar, okay? So I'm just gonna give that a light mix and then we're gonna pull out that pan and pour this cornbread in there, okay? So give me just 1 minute. Well, how about just a hot second, okay? My cast iron skillet's nice and hot. And you're gonna pour that in there slowly on that hot oil. Bring it up there, okay? Let's see, it's starting to sizzle there. Now, like I said, we're gonna put that in the oven. And I wanna get this mess cleaned up and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you my favorite summertime, one of my favorite summertime salads. It's a tomato salad. I'm gonna talk about that and some different options for you folks, okay? We'll see you in just a few minutes. Welcome back, and now we're gonna get started and make our summertime tomato salad. So I have for you 5 good size premium tomatoes. You can use a beefsteak tomato. I like a good premium tomato at your local supermarket. I cut those in wedges and then cut those wedges in half. So it gives you a nice consistency of a good bite size of the tomato. I like that size right there. Cut it in half if you have to. Nice big bite. And then I have 2 medium-sized cucumbers. I have 4 ears of sweet corn that I've cut the corn off the cob. You can use a canned corn if you want, but it's just something about the corn on the cob that makes the salad a little bit different. I have my favorite Italian dressing that I like here. I have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now this salad, when I was growing up, I've talked to you guys before about raw onions being in salads, like in the chicken salad. My mother used to put it in potato salad. And I am just a cook that just don't have a liking to raw onions or to raw celery. Those flavors to me just don't set well with my palate. So I have created my own salads without those raw vegetables so I can enjoy salads that I see other people eating. And so I hope that you like this. Now, if you want to add a red onion to it, by all means, add it to this. That's the great thing about this salad. You can take away and add different things you want. But I'm gonna say as a tomato salad, your base should be a good 5 tomatoes and some cucumbers. I think that's the base to this salad, okay? So we're gonna start with that. I'm just gonna pour in my corn. This is really simple, y'all. It's just taking these ingredients and putting them together and giving it a nice stir. And when you're done with this and you've got it mixed well together, you're gonna put it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes. I would say an hour. The longer it's in the refrigerator, the better. I've had my cucumbers and corn chilling in the refrigerator for a while, but the tomatoes, I leave them out at room temperature. So you've got that done. I'm just gonna pour this dressing right over it. This is 1½ cups of your favorite Italian dressing. And as I said, this is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now, it's very little salt because the Italian dressing's already pretty salty. I just threw that in a glass bowl. I like pepper. It's one of my favorite seasonings, so I did add a full teaspoon of pepper. It's my favorite. And then the sugar is just going to give it a little bit of caramelizing in this with the vinegar from the Italian dressing. We're just gonna mix this up and watch how these colors come together and how beautiful that is. Now this is a white sweet corn. Now you can use a yellow and that'll brighten it up even more. And if you want to put those red onions in there, that's fine too. Add celery. If you want to do greens. Now I cut the skin off of my cucumbers, but you can leave the skin on there and that'll make it pop and shine really pretty. Okay. So once I get this mixed together, folks, take a look at that. Isn't that just really pretty? And it's gonna be real good. Just real good, just lovely. I wish y'all could smell this. Anyway, I'm gonna get this in the fridge. My cornbread's gonna finish cooking, and when we get it all wrapped up, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna serve you my favorite summertime dinner, Southern collard greens, tomato salad, and cornbread. Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'd like just to take a moment and dedicate tonight's show to my cousin, Parker. I talked to him the other day and asked him what was one of his favorite meals, and he shared with me that it was our grandmother's collard greens. So Parker, baby, this one's for you, and I hope that you enjoy the recipe. I hope that you enjoy the little secret ingredient that I talked about. So we're gonna serve this up and get a little bit of taste. It's a beautiful presentation for your summertime table. I'm gonna get some greens here, which I'm so excited about. I need a bigger spoon, I think. Got some of that ham hock meat in there. It's just lovely. Now, I'm someone who does not like my tomato salad on the plate with my green beans and cornbread. I just don't like vinaigrette dressing with on my cornbread. Now, there are people out there who will use peppercorn juice and different seasonings for their greens and sprinkle that on there, and or vinegar, and that's fine. I'm gonna cut cornbread here. I like to serve mine straight out of the pan. Just gonna give it a little cut like that. Crisscross it so it's all nice and even. See, this is just my little pan, because I don't want to make all that cornbread. Now it's a little crumbly, but that's okay, because this is what you use. You use this type of cornbread. Now take a look at that beauty. Isn't that just lovely? Because I use this cornbread for like beans and eating it up with greens. Put me some butter on there. Can never have too much butter. And don't judge me by my butter. It's just lovely. I wish I could taste this cornbread. Please make my cornbread. Let me know what you think about it. Oh, that is good. Let me see if I taste these. Y'all, you couldn't be disappointed. Again, I'm gonna put the recipe and the ingredients for my collard greens and ham hocks on my blog. I'll have all of these recipes together for you guys. Let me taste this tomato salad with this corn and cucumber. Tangy, sweet, refreshing. Really great. Perfect for a picnic. Keep it in a cooler and chill it, whatever. Take it with you. Guys, if you like this video, please like it. Subscribe, and most importantly, share it with your friends and family so I can get these recipes out there to everyone who loves this type of food. Again, I'll put the house seasoning recipe. Actually, I'm going to put the link to Miss Dean's site so you can find it. I won't list that recipe. It's not mine to list, but it is a recipe that I use because she has shared it with all of us who love her, and I thank you so much, Miss Paula. But I'll find her link to this recipe, and I'll share that link with you guys who are following me. And then if you choose to make that house seasoning, you won't be sorry, because it's really great. So I'm going to finish the rest of my dinner. You guys have a great night. I love y'all.